Alright, so I'm gonna try and make an anti-rock bar similar to the curry ones for Jeeps for the Suzuki. What I've got is this, it's a torsion bar, just got off a ute. I think it was like a Mazda Bravo. It's an old style ute, so it's a torsion bar. And I got these pieces off the ends, so there was one on each side. And they're threaded, so they're threaded and they match the thread on the ends here. So basically this is like a spring metal, so it twists and will spring back. So what I'm basically going to try and do is cut these tabs off and find out the length and just weld this onto here. I've got measured the tube that I got. I'm going to use these. That's a part number for they're off like a Honda CRX or something. But so they're a 42 mil on the outside here and 24, which matches this tube here. So got one, and what I've done is I split it. I don't know if it's the best way because I can't get it over the end of here. This is sort of a test run one. These ones are a bit thinner, which might work out a little bit better for me. I'll just cut this one to start, and we'll take it out here. I'll show you. So what I'm trying to do is I've cut this bit of tube back here, and we can see our sway bar link here, so that's threaded. So I need to make an arm that's going to go across here and link up with a bit of threaded with some rod ends here, and also not foul on the brake line. The other issue I have, which is this is full lock this side, so you can see that this is the tube here, and we can see the sway bar links in down there. So I might have to figure out something and put a bit of a bend in the bar to get around this wheel, because that's full lock and that's with a negative 25 offset. If I had anything else, this wouldn't be possible without the larger offset wheels. We're going to try and get around it. So let's see. Well, I'll chuck this bar in and I'll show you what I'm working with. Alright, so we can see here, and you can see the split where I've cut it once I put the bar in and push it in. It's closed up there, but with a bit of more I push it in, it opens up a bit. So we can see hanging out this side. It's a little bit thicker than the other bush. The other one's going to bring it in a little bit more. But we can see this, so I'm almost thinking that I'll be able to slip this on, cut this off, and I might even drill a hole out and have the arm as close to this edge as possible here. Weld something here, tap this end in so I can screw a bolt to fix the arm to the torsion, fix this whole thing in, so it'll sort of sit like that. And this comes a little bit more this way, it may not be as bad. You can see on the other side with that we've got that much sticking out, so we probably need a thinner, with that thinner bushing we'll push it in this side and even it out. Probably just have enough to slip that 12mm bar through without fouling the wheel. it's just going to have to come under here and bend around the tyre a little bit. I might get away without even bending it. Just the links might be on a bit of an angle, which hopefully doesn't affect it too much. So that's where we're at the moment. Still sort of trying to figure this out, but make a few measurements and decide how I'm going to do this and whether it's going to work or not. We'll go from there. Alright, so I'm making these anti-rock arms. Just burnt myself already, so I've used 12mm flat bar. And what I did, them the splined ends that I had, I just cut them off, cut the tags off. I just rounded it off, and I've just welded it onto this bar. I cut just a 32mm hole in the back, and I've just sort of cut it a bit thinner at the top, just to cut a bit of weight down. So I've just cut that bit off it, and I'm still working on this one. So I've measured it each side, and once the bushings in, I need to have, this needs to be 35mm thick. What I'm going to do, so this is going to slip on and be sitting against the bushing on this side. I need 35mm here, and then I'm going to weld a plate on top here and drill a hole through and tap the bar, the end of the bar, and that's how it's going to fix on. I'm just going to screw, get a screw and screw it on the end. So I need to measure up here 35mm, cut it all the way around, and then I'm going to weld a cap on top, drill a hole through the center. Also need to drill a hole in this end, and then I've got to figure out some type of linkage to link it to the axle and to the body. So we'll go from there. Alright guys, so this is all the stuff that I'm made up to make these anti-rock bars. So I've made these arms. They're about 300 something mil, 12 something inches. So that's the threaded bit from that I pulled off the donor car, welded a cap on it, center punched it, center drilled it, and on the torsion bar I've took this to a machine shop because this is really hard metal, spring metal. So I've got that tapped to a M8. So I've got basically going to stick this in the end. It's going to slip. It's got the splines on the inside here. It's going to be held on by the bolts that are going to bolt through there into the end of the torsion rod bar. Now I ordered these online. These are about 15 bucks each. They are a 12. The thread is matches what's the sway bar mount bolts into. So one end's gonna go straight into the same thread that the sway bar mount goes into. The other end's just going to go through the hole here, and we'll just use a nut and a washer. I've also got these bushings, and I'm going to have to cut them. I didn't want to, but it's too hard. There's not enough give to slip them over the top of this in one piece. So I'm just going to cut them. Hopefully they hold up with the little. I just cut them with a razor blade. So that'll come back once I've assembled it. Alright, so you can see I've mounted the torsion bar. I got the bushings in. It was pretty hard actually to get them in. There's not much room. same there. So the way I measured the cups on the arms is about 35 mil, so it should press up pretty close to the bushing. Once I tighten this nut down, it should pull it all nice and tight together. So I'll put the arms on and I'll come back. Alright, done a bit of, have to modify this a bit. So this is the wheel fully locked. You can see it was just a little bit of rubbing, so what I've done, I've cut it and I've just kinked this, so now I've got plenty of clearance. And what that's also done is just made this arm just a little bit longer, because the longer this arm is, the more leverage I'm going to have on this torsion bar, so it won't be as harsh, and it'll probably flex a little bit more because I'll have more leverage. So I want to try and make the arms as long as I can without fouling on anything. At the minute I think I've got it about right, so I've just cut them and I'm going to weld them, hopefully. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I don't think there's going to be that much push. I'm going to get a lot of weld in there, so I think it should hold up. We'll come back. Alright, so I've got this just fully welded it up. Got my connector there, and as you can see, I've just put a bit of Loctite on this, and I'm just tightening this into the old sway bar mount. So that's going to be it. So it's just going to be like that. It's pretty tight clearance on this, but so far I'll cycle it through, but it seems to be not contacting with this, and it's the issue was before was a little bit over here, so it was likely to a little bit close to that. But I'll tighten it all off and cycle it through the suspension and see how it goes, and I'll do the other side, then we'll take it for a test run. Alright, so I got this second side and that's connected, and we're here. Now I'm trying to flex it up, and I've noticed this side wheel hasn't even hit the bump. So obviously before I had this on, it would obviously it would flex all the way up onto the bump stop, so it's reduced the flex a little bit. But before I make a judgment, I'm gonna do some real life driving and flex it up while I'm driving, and then soon see, because there's a few different things that can happen. So I'm going to take it for a test drive and see what it's like, road handling and off-road, and then I'll make a decision whether it's a good thing. I don't know, I just saw these, I just tried to make them. I'm not sure if it's going to be a good thing or not. I might stay with it, I might not, but I just wanted to try it and see what it was like. So we'll go put the wheels back on, give it a test ride, see how it flexes up in real life scenario. Right, so you can see this is flexed up. Not a great load of droop at the minute, but I was on the bump stops before. I don't know, I'm just going to have to drive it on some real tracks and just see how it compares. It's a bit hard to judge at the moment.